Good morning, guys. It's Jack Long, the Mad Scientist. Today we're going to go over a real quick one on corner rounders. When you're tuning into corner rounders, a lot of times people will complain that they get a funny corner, like on the bottom or the top or something like that, and it drives them crazy because they go in and they make adjustments to the machine and nothing happens. Okay, so the easiest way to tune a corner rounder is to eliminate the opposing head and tail corner. Okay, so I know that sounds a little mixed up, but let me explain. Now, this particular machine that I am working on has two corner rounders. They're the tilt style that kind of moves on a pivot arm. This is very similar to several different kinds of machines. Homag made one at one point, Brandt, and BSC, of course. SCM has a similar unit, and of course the Chinesium ones that take whatever works and copies it. Pardon me. This particular trimmer is a 2 unit. They have some that are 4 units. They have some that are 1 unit. It all depends on who built the particular machine that you're working on, but the principle is all the same. Up inside the controller, and this one happens to be a BSC, so let me get up here where it's close to it. You will see options on here where we can do just the top profile, or if I was looking at the bottom trimmer, it would be the bottom profile. And on here you'll see option number 2, option number 3, option number 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this and we're going to tell this to run either profile 2 or profile 3. And what that does is, let me grab my board here, see if I can get it in a place where I can prop it up and still have my hands free. It's a little bit more difficult to do than what you would think. So what happens is, as the profile is going in, on the first pass, all we want to do is trim the top and bottom and prepare it so the profile scrapers that's behind it can produce its profile. The ends, however, do not get scraped, so they have to be perfect coming out of this station. In addition to that, we have the head of the board, we have the tail of the board, and some machines will do the entire head profile. Some of them will do the entire tail profile in relationship to a trimmer. Vol does it that way, for instance. The BSC, SCM, Nanzing, I can think of a few more. What they do is they have one trimmer that does the front top, across the top, and tail top, and then bottom front, bottom head, bottom profile, and then bottom tail. And what we want to do is, as the profile that's created on the head for the top and the head for the bottom, we want those profiles to blend. And sometimes, depending on the machine, the tooling, the skill of the operator, the whole 9 yards, what can happen is a trimmer can create a blemish on this bottom corner, but the blemish is actually from the top trimmer. So it all depends on how far it wraps around. These particular styles, the front is a slide, so it just falls vertically. The tail, on the other hand, tilts on this particular one. I've seen some where they are slides in both directions. That's an older technology. I haven't seen those recently, but they're out there. So what happens is, it is very possible that a blemish that you will see here is actually created from up here. And what happens on this is, because the two different profiles have got to blend, you need to tune each one of them separately. So what you're going to do is, you're going to come into this and you're going to tell it to do this corner and this corner, not this corner, not this corner. And then once you tune that and you get that to where it's predictable and it does what you want it to do, then what you're going to do is you're going to switch it. You're going to note what profile that was on the top of your board. You know, you've seen me do my Sharpie marks. Then what you're going to do is you're going to tune it, and you're going to do the bottom corner the opposite, and then the top corner opposite, until that blends out. When you can pick up the first board and your current board and lay those two side by side and the profiles look similar, then and only then do you activate all 4 corners and send the board through, and you should not see a defined difference between this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. Once you achieve that, so here's the trick. Once you achieve that, then you run 2 edges on 2 different panels, book match them, and then compare head and tail and head and tail for the different boards, and at that point they also should not be there should not be any distinguishing differences between the two profiles. Once you achieve that, then you find somebody who doesn't know what you're doing, that's got fresh eyes, and have them take a look at it and see if they can see any differences. Because if an uneducated eye can find it, you've got more work to do. If an educated eye can find it, that just means we're super critical. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do it. Like I said, what you're going to do is you're going to go into this over here and you are going to eliminate opposite corners. Once you get the blending done and it's blended out from top to bottom, you do two different panels, book match them, compare the ends, and look at it from there. Okay guys, nice and easy one today. Like always, be safe out there. Like, share, comment, and let's go make a million.